Hello, hello, hello. Happy happy Thursday, community. I hope everybody's having a great start in the week so far. It's another community event that we are really looking forward to have with you, community. Again, welcome to all of you that are able to make it to today's live. As always, we are very thrilled, always looking forward to these events as they give us the opportunity to connect, have a dialogue, learn together about our industry, our current events that are going on, about the market, and also about our ecosystem, of course, our different tokens that we have, what added value that we bring into this ecosystem, and how we are adding value to using this blockchain technology. Very thrilled today, again, to have you all here. Always very excited about this today. So we will get right into it. As always, the way we like to do these are, I always like to come first to you, greet you, see who is here, who is present, appreciate you, acknowledge you, and then I'll go about our today's topic. We'll discuss today's topic, current events, the news, what's happening in the market, and then we'll also break down about the industry, what's happening right now. We'll talk about, of course, our ecosystem. Then we'll go full circle, come back to you, see if you have any follow-up questions for us so that we can discuss. The whole idea here with these sessions are for us to be on the same page, for us to be informed, educated, and inspired, especially as we're going through this crypto journey together. With that said, I'd like to come to you, see who is here, greet you, appreciate you, and then we'll go from there with our scheduled program today. For my brother Theo, greetings, my great brother Steve, and greetings to the entire amazing Bullrun family as well. I'm very excited to be here with you all and can't wait to get started. I know it's going to be fire. Welcome, brother Theo. Always a pleasure seeing you here. Thank you for being consistent and always participating in these community events. Let's go. I hear the energy. The excitement is in the room. That's great. We are all very excited as well. Cool Tay waiting. That's very good. Glad that you're here as well. Welcome. Queen Emily, hi there. Greetings back to you as well. A good brother Glenn, hello everyone. How is everyone? Let's get those buys in. Yes, absolutely. Greetings, my good brother Glenn. I hope you and yours are well. Nice having you in the community. Women for Bull Run. Hello, Bull Runners. Happy Thursday. Waiting for the session. Hello, Steve. Ready for the educational life. Bull Run Academy, Bull Run. Welcome, Val. Nice having you here as well. Thank you for always bringing your positive energy with you. My brother Glenn, I'm ready for this bull run to start. I bet the entire community is as well. So we all understand your statement. We can relate to it. Queen Goliba. Hi all, family, waiting patiently. Nice having you here. It's really a pleasure having the queens from the Bull Run women on that are so supportive and are joining us. Always a pleasure. Nancy, good evening to Steve and the Bull Run family. I'm super grateful to be here. I'm looking forward to today's YouTube live. Hashtag best community, best dev. Pleasure having you here, Nancy. Thank you very much for your support. It's always a pleasure having you here with us. Good brother Theo, Bull Run family, we typically average around 25 members on YouTube live stream. How about we each personally bring just one person with us, which will double that number to 50. What an amazing strategy. This is exactly what we need. We need to really start being proactive, strategic, because we are really approaching the time where exposure now is needed. We need to make noise on these platforms, especially on YouTube and on Twitter. Those are the two platforms that we need to be the most active because it brings so much traffic and especially those that are active on cryptocurrency, they are most actively on Twitter and on YouTube. Those are the two platforms that they're most active on. So we need to really have a presence. Great idea, my brother Theo. This is great. Let's act on this. Let's each have one more person to come and join these live streams. They're very important, and it's especially for us to be informed, educated, and inspired, and also learn about the industry, about what's going on in the space. It's very important. So yes, bring along someone that is on the fence, doesn't know about the space, and want to learn more about it. Let them know about these sessions that they can join and be part of them. Brother Theo, my great brother Steve, one occasion has made mention of the power of having 50 people attending each of our incredible live sessions throughout the week. We can do this. Absolutely. This is something that is vital. Picture this. In the human nature, we are naturally very inquisitive human beings, we are very curious, and we like to belong or be part of something that is active, that is trending. So for us to achieve this, because we really have large groups already, we are past 900 members on our Bullrun main Telegram group. We are way past 1,600 members on Women Bullrun on Survivor Telegram group. We are way past 100 on Killer Whale, and then another 1,000 on WhatsApp group of the women, Bullrun women. So I believe getting 50 individuals in all our weekly events, it shouldn't be an impossible task to achieve. So I fully agree with this, absolutely. Because the more attendees we have, the more participants we have, the more eyeballs will be on us as well. And keep in mind, all these social platforms, they're all based on algorithms. Don't underestimate these. The more people participate, the more engagements, the wider audience we will reach. Like for example, or even here on YouTube, the more that are active, the more likes we have, the more people are watching, the more engaged the interactions are, the wider audience that YouTube is going to send this video to a bigger audience. Same on Twitter as well. The more interactions we have on Twitter, the wider audience we will reach. So that's just how it works. And the sooner we understand this and the more engaged we are, the more successful we will be. And that's the aim. So great point again, great brother Theo. Brother Demo Crypto here. Good day, community, and my brother Steve. You are second to no one when it comes to information and knowledge. Many out there are paying and not receiving what we receive on a weekly basis. Thank you. A great brother Demo. Thank you very much for your great feedback, for your kind words. This is how it should be within our ecosystem, within our community, because this is one of our 4 elements that we're focusing on. We are focusing on, of course, liquidity, security, social network, and education. Those are our 4 pillars that we really lay emphasis on, and we've discussed this multiple times. So education is key. It gives us the confidence, the understanding, the knowledge, the peace of mind, and the courage to really understand what we have and appreciate what we have. The better we understand the market, the industry, and how what money actually is, how money works, and what are the basics that we need to pay attention to in the economy, the cycles of the bull run cycles. All those things are basics that are very fundamental for especially newcomers that are in the space to understand, and even veterans that have been around in the space. It's very important for us to really have that grasp, that solid understanding as a community, because keep in mind, the more knowledge we have as a community, the stronger we are. We don't have to wait for admins or devs to educate anymore, because we are all on the same page. We all understand the same thing. And keep in mind, this is all about decentralization. And today's topic will really, I hope it will open your eyes. It will give you a deeper understanding of the severity and importance of being decentralized and having a decentralized platform. And its decentralization doesn't end with the smart contracts, but it also entails that this project or this community is literally driven by the community and not by individuals. So just myself, or a mom, or any of you that are very active. It takes all of us as a collective for us to be truly decentralized, and we need to break out of that, and we need to understand that even if I'm not around on a Thursday or on a Saturday or on a Monday, this community will still be educated, because any one of you at any given day can pick up and take over and run with it. That's what you call true decentralization. So this project is bigger than us. It's bigger than our individuals. It takes all of us to keep it running. So I always want to highlight that. And what my brother Dimo is saying here is very true. We need to really appreciate what we have, and we really need to learn and be proactive and take more responsibility, because this is all based, it's a community-driven project. So eventually, we all should be on the same page and be able to educate just as much as anybody else. So that's very important, and that's key as well. Queen Privy, Margaret, hello community. Hi Steve, it's so exciting to be here. Queen Privy, nice to have you here as always. Always a pleasure seeing you in these lives. Thank you for participating and always being active. Welcome to the community. Always nice having you here as well. My great brother Cryptorizer, hello Bullrun community. Steve, please talk about the DApp threat going on right now, and if it's safe to buy on Uniswap at the moment. I read your DM and I prepared it. I'll discuss it definitely, and so that we have more clarity on that, and we can also find a peace of mind, because it's a big topic right now in the space, and it needs to be clarified, because it's not as big as people put it. But I'll touch on it right after these comments. That's what I'll start with. Miss Queen Sally, hello Mr. Steve. Hi family, always nice to be here. Always a pleasure having you here. Thank you for always showing up consistently. Always a pleasure having you here. My brother Franklin, good day BRL family. It's great to be here again. I've been away for a week attending our church annual program. I feel honored hearing my brother Steve again. I'm ready for the cruise. It's a pleasure. We missed you. Welcome back. I hope you had a great time. And always a pleasure having you here, my brother Franklin. Miss Sharon, greetings, hashtag Bullrun family, best community ever. Always a pleasure having you here as well. Miss Sharon, thank you for always participating and for all the efforts you're putting in. Mom, thank you very much. Greetings community. Hello Steve, looking forward to another amazing live stream. Always a pleasure having you here as well. Thank you for all the efforts you put in and your hard work that you put in, with especially with the Bullrun women. It's been just amazing to see all the efforts pay out. Brother Nick, let's go Bullrun. Family, let's make some noise and tell the world about the Bullrun ecosystem. These are beautiful words. This is what we really need to do right now. We have the brand, we are Bullrun, we have the ecosystem, we have the community, we have something to really show for, we have a proof of concept. Everything is going for us. And once I get into today's topic, I'll get into deeper even of what situation we find ourselves in. We really are at a very unique time right now, and we need to understand this. So these words of my brother Nick here are legendary. They're true, and we need to take these words to heart, because they're very important. We really need to, make ourselves known and be out there, be more engaged, be more active as a community. My brother Glenn, with everything getting ready to shift and hearing that the markets are about to flip with the US pausing the rate hikes and stating that the Fed will be lowering rates next year. Absolutely. We'll touch on all of this as well. These are very important points for us to really understand. These are fundamentals that we really need to understand the importance of all of this. Queen Cozy, greetings, Brother Steve, and the entire Bullrun family. Greetings back to you as well. It's a pleasure having you here as always. Queen Fortunate, hello Bullrun family. Thank you, Steve, for this time. You are very much appreciated. Thank you as well for always showing up and for being part of this ecosystem and community. Thank you also for all your efforts that you put in. Queen Cozy, greetings, Brother Steve, and the entire Bullrun family. Hoping everyone is well. Looking forward to an inspirational and educational session. Thank you very much. It's great having you here as well. It's always a pleasure having you with us in the community. Hello, Zest. Hey, degenerates. Patricia, Miss Queen Patricia. Always a pleasure having you with us as well. Good evening, Bullrun family. Thank you again, Mr. Steve, for an informative session. Please advise there was an audio about DeFi apps being hacked and that we should stay away. Please advise. Absolutely. This is what I'll kickstart with. This is what I'm about to start with, to just bring some clarity into our community so that we understand exactly what's going on. We'll break it down, and this is what I'll start with. Then we have, let's all hit the like button, family. Absolutely. Let's all participate. We are 24 right now. Let's all just hit that like button. Let's interact with it. Let's be engaged with it, because this will help this video, this live stream, to reach a wider audience. And that's the whole goal. That's the whole idea. That's the whole purpose of this. With that said, thank you very much for all of you once more that are in attendance today. Bear with me. Let me share my screen, and let's kickstart. Let's kickstart. All right, as usual, I always like to zoom out. We need to always understand the market, what's going on. Let's have a broader understanding. What's going on right now? The market is extremely green. It looks good. We're up 0.85%. We're at 1.62 trillion in market cap. Keep in mind, we are past halfway to where we were last bull run at its peak. So things are really looking good. We still have the year to end, and by the year end, we will be much farther than we are now. And 2024 is going to be a year to be remembered, a year to be part of. And we are all of us here are really privileged to be part of this, because this is going to be extremely massive. And it's going to be something very beautiful for all of us. And nothing more beautiful than to be able to share this experience with you, community. And this is why it's important that we really, right now, we engaged, we are active, proactive, and that we really are vigilant. You know, let's all pull our weights. Let's all add value to this ecosystem. We can only achieve it together, and we need to really be more proactive as a community. So there's nothing much else to say about the I know you monitoring, you watching these numbers. What I really want to get into is the Ledger situation. There was a Ledger exploit apparently earlier today, and a few of the DeFi platforms were affected. There is and it's with Ledger. Ledger has like a Ledger kit that wallets are using, such as MetaMask and so on and so forth. And there was an exploit that happened. The way that exploit happened is one of the employees that works with Ledger was a victim of a phishing attack. They clicked on a link that was a spam, and they used his account, and then they actually compromised the main website of certain dApps applications. So the way that happened is they deployed an address. I will show you what address that is. We'll go through it in detail. They deployed an address on the front page of certain apps, and that routed the funds instead of to the users' wallets. It routed the funds directly to the victims, to the hacker's wallet. So basically, in a nutshell, that's the exploit that took place. And some of the apps were victims of them because they were using libraries, meaning they were using front-end app softwares made by Ledger specifically. So only those that are using the software library from Ledger were the ones that are really affected, and those were mainly wallets. So the way this exploit was done is basically you received a pop-up. There was a pop-up if you went to a website, a DeFi website, and you received a pop-up that prompted you to connect your wallet without you actually going directly and hitting connect. That was part of the issue. This is how the exploit was actually triggering the token drainer attack, that once you connect via the pop-up, it would drain your wallet and you will lose funds that way. However, the good thing is that this is the software. Software is called ConnectKit, and it's decentralized protocols such as Lido, MetaMask, Coinbase, and Sushi. Those are the ones that are using it primarily. So if you didn't interact with the pop-up today, or if you didn't do anything, interact with it today, you're good. And also the good news, and let me get straight to this because I don't want anybody to panic. Ledger really quickly cleared this. So as we speak, it's cleared. The bug is cleared. The new version 1.18 has been automatically updated. So this bug is gone. Still, Ledger recommends to wait 24 hours until you use your Ledger connecting kit again. And this kit is a software, a library that certain wallets are using or applications are using, such as, MetaMask, Lido, and other softwares, other applications. So the issue has been resolved. The bug has been taken care of with an update, the 1.18 update. But still, recommendation is to stay away from any apps for 24 hours just to be safe, not to interact with any apps for right now, just to be on the safe side. Ensure that you update your MetaMask. There is an update that is live right now. So if you're using MetaMask, just update it. You can go to App Store or Google Store, and you'll be able to update or if you want to use it, it will prompt you to update it anyway automatically. So it will update to the new version that closes that patch. So basically what happened is what I just told you. A Ledger employee fell victim of a phishing attack earlier today, and they published a malicious version of the Ledger Connect kit, and it was used through the Wallet Connect app, dApp, that are widely used, that also our staking platform is using. However, the Ledger technology and security team fixed it within 40 minutes. So before Ledger itself even was aware of it. So it was all done. So within 5 hours, everything was done. And the window that the funds were being drained was only 2 hours, approximately 2 hours. That was the time when the exploit was taking place, just within 2 hours. And Ledger coordinated with Wallet Connect who quickly disabled the app. So they disabled it. So even if you would you wanted to use it, it was disabled during those 5 hours. So it wasn't, you were most likely not affected anyway, because within 40 minutes of the attack, everything was actually closed, was taken care of. And now, like I say, the genuine verified Ledger Connect version 1.18 is now live. However, the recommendation is still to wait 24 hours, however. So wait at least one more day, one full day before you interact with any dApps whatsoever. Also, Ledger worked with Chainalysis, which is a software company, Oracle, that collects data. And with their help, Tether was able to freeze the bad actor's USDT wallet. This is his address, or their address, that they used to attack. And collectively, through the help of Chainalysis, Zach, XBT, Tether, and Wallet Connect, through the help of the entire community, this attack was able to be taken care of really, really quickly. So there's more noise being made as it is. So I really want you to really not panic, to really relax. This was taken care of within 40 minutes by the security team. Ledger already deployed the latest software to patch this attack. It's taken care of. Everything was between the attack and by the time it was done with was just around 5 hours. The window of the attack was around 2 hours, and with the help of multiple other community projects such as the Wallet Connect, Tether, Chainalysis, this attack was really taken care of. This was reported to the authorities, so they're doing further investigations. The wallet has been frozen, so the funds will be are safe right now, are frozen within this account. They'll be given back to the victims. So things are back in order. Just be aware of things like this. If you're using your wallets, always be sure that you clear your cache, clear your history. Make sure that you don't fall for those pop-ups that come. Ensure that you're using the right websites. This just shows desperation of hackers. As Bullrun is about to take place, we have to be even more careful, because this is the time where a lot of phishing attacks will take place. A lot of scammers are trying to, take advantage of unassuming token holders, assets, cryptocurrency holders. So be very careful. Be vigilant. Don't hit on random links. Don't click on, don't interact with any tokens that are randomly showing up in your wallet. If you see pop-ups such as this, don't interact with them at all. Once you follow these guidelines, you'll be safe. So as far as the Ledger situation, it is sorted. It's taken care of. The update is new. Make sure you update your wallets, your MetaMask, and make sure that you don't interact with any apps right now. And also, for your information, our staking platform or our website doesn't use the Ledger Connect kit software. We don't use that, so we didn't have that anyway. But still, be vigilant and be careful. You are the owner of your wallet. Take full responsibility of it. And I hope this just brought more clarity to you, community, and that you don't have to panic or worry about the situation that took place today. I'm glad everything was taken care of very swiftly. The updates are here, and just stay away from any apps for right now for the next 24 hours, and then we can use everything normally again. I hope this answered your question, Queen Patricia, and my brother Cryptorizer, and of course the rest of the community, that this affects all of us. So with this said, community, I'd like us to get to another topic. And what I'd like us to discuss today is, we hear a lot of controversy. We hear a lot about how the market, how crypto should be shut down, or how cryptocurrency is a haven for scams and money launderers and criminals, etc. Keep in mind that the traditional industry, the legacy of financial industry, they're not going to roll over and let themselves be defeated. As a matter of fact, they understand that this technology is not going anywhere. This is why we always say, when we talk about blockchain technology, it is literally the technology behind it. It's not the cryptocurrency that is so special, but it's the technology behind it. Because this is the reason why all these major institutions, infrastructures that are existing in the traditional financial market and other industries want to be part of this digital ledger technology, because it's more secure, it's faster, cheaper, more transparent. You can verify things more easily. They are borderless. It's not restrained to time limits, times, business office hours, and all that. So it is so much more efficient, more effective, and it's borderless as well. So this is important to highlight. And if you hear headlines such as this, like JP Morgan once more talking about the crypto markets in 2024 are not going to be cautious, it's not going to be as vibrant as people think, always keep in mind that there's reasons behind this. Don't always believe everything that media says. And media is not here to make you any money. So if you listen to media, to social media, it won't benefit you at all, because they have an agenda, and they're feeding you with their agenda, what they want you to believe. And you need to be smarter than this. You need to be able to see through all of this. And in today's session, I will really walk us through history and really enlighten us of what this is all about and why are they even saying this. However, there's some truth to this, because I want to play, I want to be unbiased, and just to be, there's some truth to this, because if you see the market is heavily geared with emotion. We always say this. The two emotions are fear and greed. And the whole idea is to instill fear into you, so that you panic sell, you start, you start fearing losing money, and then you just start panic selling your position. And the other one is to instill greed, so that you're afraid that you're missing out, and you just get involved into something blindly without carefully analyzing or rationalizing the situation. So those are two very harmful feelings, emotions that media wants you to be involved with. And this is why, if you look at the crypto market, even the stock market, it's always based on fear and greed. So fear is the fear of losing money, the fear of this bad news that is being fed to us, such as this. If you read such titles that, 2024 is not as rosy, or if you hear things like this, like the JP Morgan CEO was saying that the Fed should shut Bitcoin down and the crypto industry, and so on and so forth. These are, for certain people, this really affects them, and they panic and they start selling things, selling out of their positions. But all this is done by design. What I wanted to say, though, is one thing I want to highlight. This industry is led by speculation, anticipation, and rumors. So there's a saying that goes, buy the rumors and sell the news. And unfortunately, that's the truth. And that's what's happening right now. In anticipation of the ETF approvals, in anticipation of the Bitcoin halving, in anticipation of end of the year, and all of these things that are happening, people are already, this is why people are now so greedy. This is why you see the greed index, it was actually at 80 at some point. People are really greedy right now. They want to front run the ETF approvals. They want to, position themselves with Bitcoin and ensure that they buy Bitcoin before the ETFs are approved and before all these trillions of dollars that are supposedly entering the space. As we saw here, just by the 10 largest asset managers alone, trillions of dollars are coming in. If only 1% of that, or even just 10% of that, that's a large amount. So imagine just 1% of this. This is 430 billion. So that's a lot of money coming into the crypto space. Because keep in mind, right now we are sitting at 1.6 trillion. So imagine that's 1/4 will be added just like that. So, and if it's 10%, it's even more. It's 4 trillion. So it's actually 3 times of what it is right now. So this is why we have to really be careful that we don't underestimate or we don't overread what the media is saying, because it's by design for them to just try to get you off your position and to panic and to just be fearful. However, one thing I have to say, keep in mind that all this hype, all these greens that you see is not based on facts. It's based on speculation, on rumors, on anticipation. So that's why a lot is already priced in. So all the Bitcoin halving is priced in already. That is happening. And also the Bitcoin ETFs, of course, it's all priced in already. So this is why you'll see that once the real news comes early next year, once now it's official, you'll see a big sell-off, because now those who bought in early are cashing out and taking their profits already. That's how this market works. This is just for us to understand how this market, things are moved and based on rumors, anticipation, and just speculation. So it's a forward-thinking market. The actions that are done today are based on rumors of tomorrow. It's not set in stone. So it's, keep in mind, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's how the market works. Now, right now, with that said, I'd also like to go to this next situation here. I really want to take my time and really let's talk about this. If you just read this carefully, you might miss something. Why is JP Morgan, one of the largest banks and the bank that has the most history globally, no other bank has so much history and influence in the financial market like JP Morgan. And for them, participating in blockchain technology already, they already being heavily involved and having their own blockchain, private blockchain off of Ethereum, and actually having their own tokens. Why would they say something like this? Why do they talk specifically about the feds? Why should the feds close down Bitcoin? To answer this question, I've really prepared, and I'd like to walk with you through this for us to really have a better understanding of how the markets really work. And it's important for us to really understand how the markets work, how the industry work, because it will not only give us a better understanding of what's going on in the media and why we shouldn't take serious what the media is feeding us, because we will know better, but also it will make us appreciate what we have as a community, as an ecosystem. And let's get to this. The CEO, Jamie Dimon, is specifically talking about the feds. The feds should close this down. And let's look at why and how the feds actually took place, because a lot of people really don't understand who are the feds. Are they part of the government? What's their responsibilities? How did the feds even come to be? Like, how did that all happen? Let's go through the history, because many people don't understand how the birth of the feds. How did the feds even come to be. First of all, before we get into it, before in the mid 1800s until the early 1900s, we're still facing the same issue that we're facing today. This money has been a big issue for mankind. Many countries, many economies to this day are still trying to figure out the best way to have a solid, a sustainable, and monetary system. So we are still looking for that perfect monetary system. And to this day, we still haven't figured out what money is and how monetary system, solid and monetary system can be built and developed. We're still suffering from them. So in the mid 1800s up to the early 1900s, there were 6 major panics. If I say panics, I mean bank runs. So we often think that things that we are experiencing now in our current days, we never experienced it before, but history always repeats itself. There's nothing new we are experiencing today or in our era. All these things we're experiencing have been experienced hundreds of years before us. So this is nothing new. So the bank runs we're experiencing today or last year with all these banks that went belly up and the issues we still have with liquidity crisis and bank runs because there's just not enough liquidity in the banks and in the assets. And even right now with the largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, like we often talked about and discussed, all these things, all this liquidity crisis with the biggest cryptocurrency, this is nothing new. So back then, this was the same issue that we're experiencing today. You see all this liquidity crisis with our digital assets and all this, we experienced all this before. And the biggest issue was liquidity crisis. And this is why these individuals formed the Feds. Okay, now let's get into the history. Back in all this happened in 1910, so over 113 years ago. This is what happened. In the US, like I said, before this time, 50 years back from 1950, the US experienced at least 6 major bank runs. They call it panics. So the banks never had enough funds or reserves in their accounts. So each time there was a crisis, a national crisis, and the citizens, the account rushed to the bank and wanted to get the money out. Each time the banks collapsed and it caused big issues within the nation. So what we are experiencing now, or what we experienced in 2008, was nothing new. These things have been happening back in the 1800s and even before that. So this is the reason why these major individuals, handful of individuals, came together and wanted to change the entire monetary system. They wanted to address this. So, of course, the JP Morgan had to come in and rescue the day because he was one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest individual in the US. So he had to come and save the Feds, save the government. The Feds were not built yet. He had to come and save the government. He had to come in and save the stock exchange and the city of New York as well. And he did that with his personal wealth. So they came together and said, we can't let this happen again. We can't have all these run on the banks. We need to form some sort of a new financial system, a new monetary system that will help us protect our banks from being run like that, you know. And keep in mind, these were individuals. These individuals, it was very secretive how they came together. It was a secret how they even came to this secret place. It was based in a place called Jekyll. It was on an island close to Georgia. So what happened was These were financiers, major financiers, that are still well-renowned to this day. It was Morgan himself, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, and all these individuals together. They represented 1/4 of the entire global wealth. So these handful of people were as wealthy as 1/4 of the entire world. And these names sound familiar because they are financiers and politicians. So these individuals came together. It was very secretive. Nobody knew about this. And they acted like they were going on a duck hunt. So they came together to create a new monetary system. They had 3 major goals, and these are the goals that keep in mind. The first was to stabilize the financial system, to bring stability. Secondly, to provide liquidity. Does that sound familiar? They had to provide liquidity for the financial system when needed in crisis. And then thirdly, to regulate the US dollar and the US dollar strength. Those were the 3 key issues that they wanted to address: stability, liquidity, and regulation of the US dollar through interest rates. So basically, they sat down right before Thanksgiving, and they had to present this bill within 2 weeks because the elections were taking place coincidentally. This is how the Feds, at the first time, it didn't go through because the Democrats took over, this bill didn't go through. But 2 years later, in 1913, is when finally all this went through, and finally this was passed, and that was the formation of the Feds, of the Federal Reserve. And the citizens of the US didn't know that it was based on these financiers, that they as a collective had 1/4 of the global wealth just among themselves, just a 2 handful of individuals. And the US didn't have this central bank structure as a monetary system. They got the idea from Europe, because back then Europe had that monetary system. So the citizens of the US were very reluctant about having a centralized entity that is dictating how the economy is going to work, and not letting the economy dictate itself. So this was pushed back, but however, 2 years later it was passed, and this is why to this day there is this thing called Federal Reserves, and it was founded by a group of friends, families, and politicians. So this is why, if you see such things, that this is again JP Morgan, and you see the founder is the one who actually, this is JP Morgan himself, and he's actually the one who was the chairman during these meetings. So you see that if you hear headlines like this, there's a reason why. They've been around for over 100 years, and they came together, put their heads together, and wanted to develop a new monetary system that works in their best interest. So this is why to this day you see that Wall Street is dictating finance. This is why you see Jamie Dimon saying is so reluctant about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because it's rivaling and it's a threat to their existing monetary system that's been around for over 100 years. So if you see individuals talking negative like this, they have a reason why. They have a history. There's a history behind it. And the reason why the Feds were formed was because lack of stability, lack of liquidity, and regulatory issues as well. Does that sound familiar? And this is why to this day, this is not a perfect monetary system to this day. It's a debt-based system based on inflation. And this is why to this day, the catalysts, and that's why I say they are right when they say this, when they say that 2024 is not going to be that great like people anticipate. They're right, because the real catalyst won't be Bitcoin halving, because it's already priced in. The real catalyst will not even be the ETFs. It's already priced in. The real catalyst is going to be the interest rates, because it's the interest rates by the Feds that is really going to make the biggest difference. And this is what is really important to understand. We need to understand this, that the biggest catalyst that is about to trigger our bull run is interest rates. Once the interest rates being lowered, and they're going to be lowered, because yesterday, the Feds announced that they're stopping interest hikes. So in 2024, there'll be a decrease. They specifically mentioned 1.7% decrease in interest. They'll be cutting off interest, and not just in 2024, but 2025 and 2026 as well. So this means that it opens doors for fresh liquidity to enter the space, enter the market, and this is exactly what's needed for the banks to start gushing in new liquidity into the markets. And this is exactly what we're looking forward to. So with this in mind, I just wanted to paint a picture of what's happening. Again, the Federal Reserve was founded because there was a series of financial panics, bank runs. There was a bank run that is happening. Each time a bank run happens, it happens due to lack of liquidity. And this issue, even though we are using the digital ledger technology now, we're still facing this issue with our largest cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. We still have the same issue we had over 100 years ago, and that's the reason why the Feds were formed. But we're still having the same issue with our largest cryptocurrency. This is why when you see the social media telling unassuming newcomers in the crypto space, go and just buy Bitcoin, just purchase Bitcoin, that's the only way to go, they're leading you astray, because obviously Bitcoin is lacking liquidity. But they don't care about this. The same thing that happened during the dot-com bubble in 2000. And the same thing that happened during the 2008 housing crisis, subprime mortgages. They're using the crisis to benefit themselves. They don't care about retailers. They care about the bottom line, what they are earning. So this is just to point out, and this is not a popular topic to discuss, but this is just something for you, community, to think about and to look at, that we are still facing the same issues. These Feds, this group, these individuals sat together over 113 years ago to figure out how they can sort out liquidity, how they can sort out stability, and bring regulatory clarity. And we're still facing the same issues 113 years later. So with that said, and that picture painted, I want to really show you what's happening right now. So what's happening right now is, for over 113 years, bank runs have been happening. And Circle wants to put a full stop to it, an end to this. This is why you see a fight on crypto has started. This is why you see earlier this week, you heard how the Jamie Dimon and even the Congress lady, Elizabeth Warren, was talking about how crypto, they're focusing on the crimes and the illegal stuff. But actually, what they're trying to do is to bring fear to the retailers, but they want to sort things out the right way. Circle wants to become a full reserve national digital bank. I've made a video about this 9 months ago now, and I'll post it. I'll post it in the Telegram group today, or I'll post it on Twitter so that you can watch it. We discussed this in full detail in two videos 9 months ago. So I'm not going to go into details. However, Circle is planning to become a full reserve digital currency bank. And this will solve the issue that these individuals have been trying to solve for the last 113 years, and were not able to. And with the help of Larry Fink, who is a debt expert and who is also heavily partnered and invested in Circle, with the help of JP Morgan, BlackRock, and Circle, of course, and Coinbase, they're all going to work together and ensure that there will be finally a full reserve national digital bank, where this means that there won't be a run on the bank anymore. And all this will happen with the help. All this will happen with the help of the stablecoins. So stablecoins are going to play a major role, and this is something that is going to be shouldn't be underestimated. So the whole idea is that Circle wants to become a full reserve bank for digital currencies, and it will be led by USDC itself, as the aim is for USDC to become the de facto digital currency for the US. So this is the whole idea that we were discussing about very early on, and this is the agenda of these individuals of Wall Street, is to have their own blockchain that is privately run by JP Morgan and BlackRock, which is going to tokenize existing assets. And then they're going to regulate crypto and make it hard for newcomers into the crypto space to challenge them. This is the whole idea. These individuals have a lot of power, and especially BlackRock has an advisory arm, and this advisory arm is specifically not just advising central banks, but advising the Feds itself. They and the Feds go hand in hand. Each time there was a crisis, BlackRock came to save the day. JP Morgan came to save the day. So all these individuals, all these families, all these groups that we saw here, that 113 years ago secretly formed the Feds, the Federal Reserve. These are families, individuals that we know about. Rockefeller, we know those names, JP Morgan, Vanderbilts, and so on and so forth. And politicians were all here. These are financiers and politicians, the richest of the world. They came together to form this new monetary system, and they're not going to roll over and let cryptocurrencies take them over. They will use the technology, yes, but they will make sure that they sue and challenge every successful cryptocurrency, especially the exchanges and the cryptocurrencies. They'll challenge all of them and sue them and make sure they run them out of town or take them out of business. So this is the whole agenda. Why stablecoins? Stablecoins are required to be backed by US debts. And the economy, the way the Feds are running this, the way the fiat currency is run by debt. So stablecoins come in very handy because they have to have a backing, and they have to be backed by US Treasury bills, which are US debts. So you see that even here, the the top 7 cryptocurrencies are stablecoins. And one of the largest banks in Europe, it's from France. They're also issuing their own stablecoins now. So you'll see that major banks, major institutions are about to start issuing their own stablecoins because they'll help the US dollar and they'll help Circle to be the largest, most regulated US-backed cryptocurrency that is stable. And the whole agenda is to have stablecoins dominate the cryptocurrency space. That's the bottom line. Why? Because like we saw here, major issues that we saw is that cryptocurrencies failed to be a medium of exchange and a store of value. So because cryptocurrencies don't meet those aspects, this is why you see Larry Fink, which is the largest, he's the CEO of the largest asset manager. And they alone hold close to $10 trillion assets under management. Just to put it in perspective, the whole world has 40 trillion under asset management. So one company alone, BlackRock, has 1/4 of the entire global asset under management. So this is just to show you that they alone can move the markets, and they already own they're majority owners of these large billion-dollar institutions such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, which is Facebook, and so on and so forth. They're already major stakeholders of these. They control these companies, and they're the leading asset managers, like you see here in this list, by far. And they're the ones who actually are offering their services to all these other asset managers through their software called Aladdin. So they know exactly what's going on, and they control everyone else under them. So what they're trying to do here, they're trying to tokenize the stock market, the commodities market, the entire financial infrastructure. Once they do that, they want to make Circle to become a full reserve bank, digital bank. And then they want people to be heavily focused on the stocks, the tokenized stocks, and not on the cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies fail to be a medium of exchange. They're not backed by anything because they don't focus on liquidity. That's the whole idea behind the Feds being put together. The Feds were built. They came to make sure that there is enough, there's stability in the financial system, there is enough liquidity, and then there's regulation. So if you see us, this is to just paint a picture of what's happening right now. Circle wants to become a full reserve digital bank. Larry Fink wants to use his existing portfolio that he has here as the largest asset manager and wants to tokenize all the assets they have along with other asset managers as well. This means that new investors that will come and join the blockchain technology, they're not going to purchase cryptocurrencies. They're going to purchase these tokenized stocks that they're already familiar with and that are backed by a reputable company such as BlackRock, Vanguard, UBS, Fidelity, and so on and so forth, because they are backed also by a cryptocurrency, which is a stablecoin that has full reserves, meaning they are liquid. So they are solving a 113-year problem that these individuals in the past could not solve because they didn't have the technology that we have right now. So smart money is coming in. They want to use this digital technology to finally have the first full reserve banking system using a stablecoin that is backed by US debts, which will continue the agenda of the Feds, of these individuals, and they want to implement laws and regulations that will hinder existing crypto projects and crypto companies to operate. So this is the whole agenda behind this. Now that we've painted the picture of how they're solving, they want to come in and solve the bank run issue, the liquidity issue, and the regulation. Let's zoom in and let's point down something out. Each time we discuss, before we go there, let's point this out again. Cryptocurrencies have failed the test of digital money, right? And this is the reason why you see large institutions such as Circle and BlackRock, and they want to solve these issues, okay? Like the other day, we looked at Visa's competitor, MasterCard. They're into cybersecurity. They're solving the cybersecurity issue. Circle is coming in. They're issuing USDC and solving the reserve currency. They want liquidity so they can have a full reserved banking system. So real world companies are coming into the crypto space to solve real world problems. They're solving these challenges. And we're looking at them as if, well, why are they so pessimistic? Why are they saying be cautious? Why is all of a sudden, where is he? Why is Jamie Dimon saying stuff like this, that the Feds should close down Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? This is because right here, cryptocurrencies failed the test of digital money. Our largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, has the same issue that 113 years ago, the Feds were formed to answer, to solve this issue, but they couldn't solve it with the current fiat system. They could not solve it. So with this new digital ledger technology, They're once and for all, they want to solve the liquidity issue, but it won't be solved with cryptocurrencies. It will be solved by stablecoins, specifically USDC stablecoin, and it will be backed by the issuer of the USDC stablecoin. And their whole idea is to become a full reserve digital currency. So now let's zoom in. If you see us as an ecosystem, stressing, focusing, educating on the importance of liquidity, this is exactly the reason why. Because even the Feds were trying to solve that issue, bring stability, provide liquidity, and bring regulations so there's less scam and less fraudulent activities going on in the financial system. So stability and liquidity are the two major issues that need to be addressed, and that cryptocurrencies are failing it. And they're failing to become a medium of exchange and a store of value. We discussed this in multiple videos already many times. I'm not going to get into details, but medium of exchange and store of value, this is what stablecoins are. And this says also stablecoins and CBDCs are going to be part of the financial ecosystem in the future of digital technology. And this is the reason why stablecoins are liquid. They have liquidity backed assets by US debt, liquid assets and cash. So if you don't have liquidity, you're not part of the financial ecosystem of the future. This is why we keep stressing that. We put ourselves in a very good situation here, community. We developed an ecosystem from day one that is heavily focusing on retaining liquidity. So we are already addressing the challenges right here that the authorities, like this is the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the SEC, US Security and Exchange equivalent in Singapore, they identified that cryptocurrencies fails the test of being digital money because they don't serve as a medium of exchange and a store of value. Only the biggest assets right now, the biggest apps, and the only cryptocurrencies with real use case are stablecoins because they have liquidity. They're solving the medium of exchange issue, but stablecoins don't solve the store of value issue because they're backed by the fiat currency, which is inflationary. So they can't be a store of value. So this is still missing. How do you become a store of value? You need to be scarce. Fiat or currencies are not scarce. Currencies have to be inflationary. You have to be able to expand and construct. Store of values need to be scarce, need to be deflationary, and need to be able to have mechanisms in place that it gains value over time. So the more it's being traded, the more value it gains. And this is when we zoom in. This is how we developed our ecosystem, our platform. The more you trade BRL, the more scarcer it gets, the more liquid it gets, and the more USDC it accumulates for the stakers. So we are not only accumulating liquidity to be a medium of exchange, but we are also deflationary by decreasing our total supply from 1 million to now we are down to 974,000. At the same time, our largest wallet is our staking wallet. We also stake 56% of our supply, total supply, which causes scarcity and demand. So we are definitely a store of value because we're not a currency. Bullrun is not meant to be spent. It's meant to be held. And when you hold it and stake it, it generates USDC distributions for you. And it's a store of value, meaning in the future, as it's being traded more and more, it gains more value. So we are not competing with currencies like stablecoins. That's not what Bullrun is built to do. But we are addressing the store of value part of it by being liquid, by being deflationary and scarce, and by also incentivizing those who stake their BRL tokens to be part of the rewards distributions, the USDC distributions. And all this is based on volume. So as long as there's trades going on, BRL becomes scarcer and scarcer. It becomes more valuable. It gains deeper and deeper liquidity. That brings stability into the ecosystem. So we're addressing stability and liquidity issues that cryptocurrencies failed to become. And this is what our ecosystem was developed to do, to tackle those issues. So as many cryptocurrencies currently are not working on addressing liquidity issues and which will bring stability and which is deflationary, we have our legs up. We have a head start of all of them, because once you deploy smart contracts on the blockchain, you can't change it anymore. So that means that the ones coming after us, once they really understand the issues and the limitations that they have, they'll be forced to do exactly or duplicate what we already have. You'll see that many cryptocurrencies now, to keep up with the tokenized assets that are about to enter the space, because Larry is planning on tokenizing the entire stock market and then hitting everyone with regulations. So if you're a token, if you're a cryptocurrency, which they are actually failed the test of digital money due to not being medium of exchange and store of value, we are addressing that issue right now. We're already addressing it from day one. So we won't have to worry about the regulations, because we are deflationary, we are scarce, we are retaining liquidity, and that brings stability into the space. So we are competing with stablecoins as far as liquidity is concerned, and we are competing with Bitcoin as far as store of value. And our largest cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin, it is lacking liquidity. It's not addressing the issues that are supposed to be addressed, and that the Feds were actually over 100 years ago were planning to address, which is bring stability and bring liquidity into the financial market. Well, Bitcoin is not the answer, because Bitcoin didn't come to address the liquidity issue, because it actually has a major liquidity crisis. This is the reason why community, these large institutions are against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because they don't address the issues their forefathers and people who lived 100 years before them were trying to address. So they might seem controversial, but what they're basically saying is we are using this blockchain technology to address the issues that the Feds, these are the brightest minds back then, apparently. The richest people came together to try to solve this issue, bring stability into the financial system, provide liquidity in times of crisis, and bring regulations. We are still working hard on getting this done. And this is what, when you see Jamie talking about this, this is what he actually means. He wants to bring full reserve banking systems into the economy. He wants stablecoins to be dominating the space, because they're backed by liquid assets and the US dollar. And Larry is busy trying to tokenize his assets that he has already, and they're dominating, which is 43.4 trillion. And they want to tokenize all that so that it can be brought on the chain, and investors that they already have, their clients, can just buy the tokenized versions of them. They don't want cryptocurrencies to be bought, because cryptocurrencies failed to be digital money. So this is why, if you hear them talking negative about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it's because cryptocurrency failed to become a medium of exchange and a store of value. And this is where we come in and address the issue as an ecosystem by retaining liquidity and always talking about liquidity. Liquidity is key, and being deflationary and scarce is key. We're not just deflationary, but we are scarce. With every trade, there's less and less bull run. What does that tell you? The remaining bull run is more valuable. So the more trades are happening, the more valuable this token becomes. What is that? What does that do? And during all this, it retains more liquidity as well. So we are deep in liquidity and we are scarce in supply. That's what you call the requirement of being a store of value. Stablecoins don't address that. Stablecoins only address medium of exchange because they have the liquidity backing it. So our ecosystem retains liquidity to back Bullrun, but at the same time, we are scarce and deflationary and addressing the store of value aspect of it. So once regulations come in, we will not have to panic that because we're not deflationary or we're not retaining liquidity like other cryptocurrencies are right now. And that time will come, and people will understand why we do what we do right now. And this will be the standard. All other cryptocurrencies, they will have to do this, because if they don't, they'll be hit with regulations, and they won't even be able to survive the regulations that a cryptocurrency is about to bring. Because this is why you see all this JP Morgan tests. They did a pilot test that they used collateral. They used the existing money market funds as collateral to bring more liquidity into the space. So they're being creative to find ways how they can use their existing assets as collateral to add liquidity into the market. We don't have to do that. We have it in our smart contract already, not just through the taxes, but of course also through our reserves that we stake that will generate USDC for us. And also, of course, like we always say, through the sales of our NFT boosters, which we incentivize individuals to purchase if they want to have 100% distribution of the USDC. So this was an overview, community, for you to just have a broader understanding of where the Feds came from. Why were the Feds developed? What was the purpose? Why did they come together? And these were the geniuses and the most wealthy individuals of the world at that current time, based on, well, in the US at least. And they couldn't figure out the system because they put together a very inflationary system that is just about to crumble. So this is why this new ledger technology gives us an opportunity to do things different and to create a monetary system, a monetary ecosystem that is deflationary, that is scarce, that retains liquidity and is liquid, and that gives back to the community as you stake the token and encourages you to hold. So we developed a monetary system within our ecosystem that addresses the challenges that were present over 100 years ago, and that the Feds formed to bring stability, provide liquidity, and to regulate. So we are stable. We are not only paired with a stable coin, but we're also issuing stable coin as distributions. We provide liquidity by retaining liquidity with every trade and with our staking reserves and with the sale of our USD, of our unlimited NFT boosters. So community, this is just to show you how the industry works, where the Feds came from, what the industry is trying to solve, what the regulators are saying that cryptocurrencies failed at, what the future of the infrastructure is of the new digital era, and that's the stable coins. The stable coins, it is because stable coins are liquid. They are backed by liquid assets or by US Treasury bills or by cash. So in order to be a medium of exchange, you need to be liquid. And this is why we always stress on retaining liquidity. And in order to be a store of value, you need to be scarce, deflationary, and of course, bring stability. And this is what our platform offers. And this is what not only Bullrun is, but Survivor is exactly the same thing. We have the whole supply, 100% of the supply is already placed within the liquidity pool. And the 1% burn goes towards the burn wallet, which is the second largest wallet right now. If you look at the wallets, 5.8%, these are tokens that will never see circulation again. So Survivor is a very scarce token. With every trade, this wallet will eventually become the number one wallet. Just like our number one wallet is the staking wallet, and the token supply keeps decreasing in total supply. The mechanisms here are different, but the deflationary aspect is the same. It does the same after all. And this is why our tokens, same with Killer Whale as well. We have extremely deflationary tokens that with every trade, they become scarcer and scarcer and build up on liquidity. And this is the message for today, community. It's important for us to understand how the economy works and why you see individuals such as JP Morgan, which have a large history and have major influence in the financial industry. They're talking negatively in regards to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Is because the regulators identified that major cryptocurrencies, 99% of them fail to be digital money, and that was the whole purpose of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, to become digital money. But how can you become digital money if you're not liquid? You need to be liquid, right? And if you fail the liquidity test, there's no way you can survive, you know. And how can you become a store of value if you're not deflationary, you know? Because inflation exists still with Bitcoin, and it will inflate until it hits 21 million. So these are things that we need to understand as a community, and we need to see that these individuals are talking about, and there is always some truths behind what they're saying. There are some truths. And this monetary system is complex. Individuals have been trying to solve this issue. And one of the founders itself is the JP Morgan himself, was trying to solve this issue with a bunch of his comrades that were dominating the financial industry and some politicians. And this is why they're upset and they want to go against cryptocurrency, because they understand that if we don't put a stop on them, they're going to take over, because based on communities. But they're a danger to society because they're still not addressing what needs to be addressed, especially with the largest cryptocurrency not addressing it. I pointed this out multiple times, and I'll do it again in case there are some individuals in the community that are new and still don't know this. There is 964 million in the liquidity of Bitcoin. And this article clearly says Bitcoin has a liquidity crisis. It's in danger. And there are already 6 billionaires, crypto billionaires. It only takes one of them to really, to basically rug pull, do a rug pull on Bitcoin. It takes one of them. There's 6 billionaires. And besides the 6 billionaires, there are also 78 so-called centi-millionaires, meaning they have over 100 million, they have at least 100 million and above. There's 78 of them. So if just a dozen of them decide to just rearrange their assets, that will be the end of Bitcoin. And then we are back to square one, back in 1910 again. This was the whole idea of the Feds. This is why the Feds exist, because the run of the bank, a series of financial panics, meaning run on the banks because lack of liquidity. And this is the reason why Circle wants to be a full reserve bank. They want to address the liquidity crisis. They want to become a full reserve national digital currency bank. And they are backed by large institutions such as BlackRock, JP Morgan itself, Goldman Sachs, Coinbase. They form a dominating force. And this is the whole agenda of them. And the Federal Reserve, of course, is backing Circle to become a full reserve currency, because this was the whole idea. This was their mission back in 1910. This was the whole mission, is to be solving the issue of these bank runs that caused the formation of the Federal Reserve System, was because a series of financial panics, which are bank runs. So this is how it's going to be addressed by Circle. USDC is going to be used as the de facto digital currency. Stablecoins will be rampant. Don't be surprised if banks already, they're coming out with their own stablecoins. I made an example last time, and I'd like to be quoted on that too. Like I'll really take that on me. Don't be surprised if Apple comes with their own stablecoins. What if Apple comes with their own stablecoins and they tell you if you use their stablecoin to purchase your next iPhone or iPad or any other of their products, they give you a discount. Keep in mind, Apple already is into the banking business. You can earn interest if you bank with Apple. They have a bank, they have a banking license. So I'm sure they'll come with their own stablecoin because it's very lucrative. And they will help the government and the whole agenda of making Circle to become a national full reserve digital currency. And they will make their ancestors here, or the people that founded the Federal Reserve System, very proud. They will make them proud. They will finally solve the issue that these individuals worked so hard to try to solve, and they couldn't. They failed. And now using this new digital technology, it's finally they can finally solve it, and they'll be able to solve it through stablecoins backed by US Treasury bills, which are US debts. This is going to trigger the largest bull run, because now with the interest rates being cut and the money printer being put on and the stablecoins will be purchasing all these US debts, the debt ceiling will be increased and the money printer will be turned on, and the banks will be flooding the industry with cash. And this is what will be the catalyst of the bull run. And this is what this article was trying to say. Where is it? This is what the article was saying, that 2024, look at it with caution, because many things are already priced in. Many things are already priced in. Okay. Many things are already priced in. Like the approval of spot BTFs is unlikely to spur major gains, because they buy the rumor, sell the news, like we discussed. And the Bitcoin halving catalyst, it's already priced in as well, because everybody knows every 4-year cycle. So these are things that we need to understand as a community, and it will help you in your crypto journey. So this was the message for today, community, to just give you a broad understanding of where the Feds came from, what their goal, what their mission was, to bring stability and provide liquidity, and to be able to regulate the US dollar. And they failed in doing that miserably, because bank runs have been happening all the time. This is why you see such remarks made by such banks that have been dominating the industry for hundreds of years. And there's truth to this as well, because we miserably failed being digital money, because we are not a medium of exchange, and definitely not a store of value. Not even our largest cryptocurrency is, because we lack liquidity. And that's the number one issue, is liquidity. So if your token or your ecosystem is not retaining liquidity, you are back in over 100 years ago. So you're not contributing to us, you're not adding to a solution, you're not solving anything, because this is an issue that was tried to be solved over 100 years ago. And if you're still not solving it or actively retaining liquidity and being scarce, you're not solving anything. You're back to over 100 years ago. You might as well be 100 years back. So, and this is why we always stress that our ecosystem does something differently that 99% of cryptocurrencies in the space right now are not doing. And this is what is upsetting the traditional markets. And they're like, stay away from Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Let's we will take care of this. We will solve this problem once and for all using this technology. And this is why you see remarks such as these, you see remarks such as that is based on the fact that cryptocurrencies are not solving anything right now. They're not working on solving liquidity issue. They're not being deflationary and scarce. They're not focusing on that. So, and this is what upsets the traditional market. And this is why they're like, okay, let's do something. Let's work together and become full reserve banking system. So there's no more bank on run on the banks. Let's ensure that we use stablecoin as a medium of exchange that is backed by the US dollar and by treasury bills and by cash reserves and liquid reserves, so that we don't have to go through the same run on the banks again. This is the whole agenda. And this is just to show you what added value that we bring into the space, and the importance of retaining liquidity, being scarce and being deflationary, and at the same time offering incentives to the holders in the form of USDC distributions, which is solely based on the volume. As long as there's trades going on, this token is becoming scarcer and scarcer and scarcer over time, and it makes it a store of value that is liquid, that is stable, and that is scalable and sustainable. And this addresses the worries of the regulators, because now our ecosystem causes our tokens to be a medium of exchange and a store of value. That's the message for today, community. I hope you were able to take away something from it today. And I hope this opened your eyes and also brought you some appreciation of our ecosystem that we have. You see that there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of analysis and strategy that went into this in anticipation of addressing all these issues that we are facing in the crypto space. Yes, we are very early in this crypto space, and this gives us the opportunity to do something different, to address an issue that major financiers and politicians have been trying to solve this issue over 100 years ago. And here we are, we have a new technology and we can use it to solve that issue. And we have a proof of concept. We have proven that we have an ecosystem that is deflationary, that has a great binding mechanism, that is scarce, that retains liquidity, that has the highest liquidity to market cap ratio, and that has a very high staking percentage, and that with every trade becomes scarcer and scarcer. This is how we tackle the issue that the Feds have been trying to solve. The regulators are throwing a tantrum and want to stop Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because the lack thereof. And we have a leg up, community. We have something to show. We have something to be proud of. And this is why when you hear my brother Theo saying, let's bring one extra person every time, or if you hear my brother Nick saying, hey, we need to make some noise in the crypto space, is because we have something great. We have a solution to a 100-year problem, to within $1 trillion market. And whoever has the solution to the problem always wins at the end. Cryptocurrencies will be extinct, community. Nobody will want to touch them because they're not liquid, they're not fitting the digital money criteria, they're not a medium of exchange, they're not deflationary, they're not backed by anything. And this is why you see Larry Fink stressing on tokenizing the assets so that they can bring the entire stock market, commodities market, forex market on the blockchain, and then just have their existing customers and clientele and even crypto enthusiasts start purchasing their products. That's the whole idea. So the only way you'll survive is if you have a cryptocurrency that addresses those two failures that cryptocurrencies are failing on. Be a medium of exchange, retain liquidity, and become deflationary and scarce, and become a store of value. That's how you'll be worthy of being considered a competition and an option that is decentralized. Now, that's where decentralization plays key now. These tokenized assets are centralized. They're not decentralized. You can't purchase those on a Uniswap or on PancakeSwap. You have to purchase them through a centralized entity, which is BlackRock or Fidelity or ARK Invest. But if you really want to remain decentralized and have control over your own wallet, we have to go by the spirit of this cryptocurrency and have a platform that is deflationary and addresses all those issues before the regulations come in. And we addressed all of that beforehand. And this is what sets us apart from the rest, like 99% of other cryptocurrencies, even large so-called blue chip cryptocurrencies. So that's what we have for you today, community. That's the message for today. I'll wrap it up by coming back to your comments to see if there's any feedback or follow-up questions on your side. And if not, we'll call it a week. I will call it a day, and then we'll wrap it up so we don't artificially extend it. So let me come to you and see whether you have any follow-up questions here. Queen Patricia, thank you very much. You always do the best to explain. This is unique and reassuring. Thank you, Steve, and stay blessed. Yes, I believe this is in regards to the ledger. Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm really glad that it helped you, and I really just want us to be at peace because it affects us all. But I just wanted to clarify this, that the issue has been resolved very swiftly. The patch has been done. Make sure we all update our MetaMasks and our other, or if you have Trust Wallet, update your Trust Wallet, and let's be vigilant. Let's make sure that we do that, and let's stay away from any apps right now, at least for the next 24 hours. Queen Margaret, thanks, Steve, for powerful response and information. Thank you as well, Queen Margaret. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for your feedback. Queen Helga, pleasure having you here too. Greetings to you as well. Hi, family, she says. My brother Matthias, powerful. Absolutely, yes. Let's make sure that we engage and we interact. As we are over 20 individuals, let's ensure that we all hit that like button. The feds should meet Bullrun. The ecosystem understands the assignment. Very well said. Very well said. And these are things that we actually thought about before even deploying the smart contracts. And this is what will really set us apart. And it's like I quoted something that whenever you do the things the right way, yes, it will take longer to catch up and to catch on. However, it's for the long run. Eventually, people will understand the importance of the kind of ecosystem we developed, and it will catch on. Strongly believe that. Community, let's appreciate Mr. Steve by hitting the like button. The live stream is absolutely. Let's interact with the like button. This is deep. Bullrun is an amazing ecosystem. Liquidity is a scarce commodity to come by these days. Absolutely, it's something that it's not discussed often enough. You know, it's a big issue. It's a over 100-year-old issue that has been tried to be addressed many times. However, we're still facing it. And our largest cryptocurrency is still lacking liquidity, and it's not solving it in any way. And this is a crisis, you know. So this is why we are doing something different. We're adding value into this space. This is why you see economists, financiers, they see it. It's obvious to them. because that's smart money. They understand that why would I put my funds in an asset that has zero liquidity, that has no liquidity? It's a 0.1 something liquidity to market cap ratio. It's a risk to society. It's a bubble. So this is why you see the regulators dragging their feet, or you see the SEC screaming out loud like, hey, we need to shut down Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because these are liquid assets and they're a danger to investors, you know. And people who don't understand are upset. Oh, they don't like crypto, but it's been a 100-year problem that smart money has been trying to solve, but they haven't solved it yet. So yeah. Thank you, Steve, for such an educational and eye-opening live stream. Thank you so much as well, for being so active and participating, and for being part of this. Thank you for your feedback. Absolutely, and that's the ecosystem's main goal. BRL's liquidity is at 65% to market cap ratio, and it has been locked for 10 years. Killer Whale and Survivor has liquidity locked for 100 years. Absolutely, yes. All our tokens in the ecosystem are deflationary and are built to retain liquidity in the mid to long term. The more they're being traded, the more liquid and the more deflationary they are, the scarcer they become. And that's by design to address the limitations we face in the industry. You can only address something in the industry if you understand the challenges within the industry. If you don't understand or study the market, or know what's going on in the industry, or understand the history of money and how the economy works. So this is deeper than just having a token. This is really understanding how money works, how the feds work, how they were formed, what was their purpose, and why are these major Wall Street institutions against cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. They have a point, you know, they have a reason to be upset, you know, because they have to abide to regulations. They have to provide assets with liquidity. They are finding ways to be liquid. And here we have large billion-dollar market caps or trillion-dollar market cap cryptocurrency with a very bad liquidity to market cap ratio. So it's understandable that the SEC and some Wall Street institutions are so upset about these things, because mainstream media is not talking about that. Mainstream media is telling you to go and buy Bitcoin right now because they want you to be the exit liquidity. They need exit liquidity, and because the ecosystem of Bitcoin is not retaining any liquidity, and it will not retain liquidity, and that's the reason why. So this is the reason why. Brother Theo, I have to listen to this session again immediately after this session concludes. Thanks again for everything, my great brother. Thank you very much for participating. You're very much appreciated. Unbelievably informative session, my great brother. Thank you. As my brother Dave and many have already mentioned, nobody informs, educates, and inspires more and better than you, great sir. Thank you very much for your kind words and your kind feedback. Like I said, we need this. We all need to understand this, because unfortunately, mainstream media will not teach you this. Mainstream media will just tell you the agenda that they want you to understand, but they won't tell you the reality of things. These are very unbiased truths and facts that we are facing, and it's just to open your eyes and to just make you think for yourself. Do your own research. This is just to give you some nuggets so you can go down the rabbit hole and do your research, do your own research, because these are public informations that I'm sharing with you, and it's very important for you to understand. And if you understand this, the reason why we are telling you this is for you to understand what added value that we bring and why our ecosystem was developed the way it's developed, and why we always stress on liquidity and scarcity and deflationary, because it's been an issue that People try to address, smart people, wealthy people have tried to address it for hundreds of years and still failed. And here we are using this new technology, and we have legs up, and that we can really welcome this to solve this. Queen Sally, priceless. Thank you, Mr. Steve, sparing you time to educate us. The pleasure is mine. Thank you very much for always being here and consistent. Thank you for all of you that came today and participated. Miss Sharon, inspired. Many thanks for the incredible, powerful session. We are grateful. So am I. Very grateful for you all. Thank you once again for showing up, for being active, for being engaged. You're all very much appreciated. With this said today, I just want to inspire us to really be more active, because we have something to be proud of. We have a platform that goes above and beyond the regular, your average cryptocurrency in the space. And we are addressing real world challenges that regulators have tried for hundreds of years to solve and failed. And they came up with a product that is still inflationary, that is based on debt. And this digital ledger technology and stablecoins are their only way to help them kick the can down the road. It won't save them. It won't solve the problem, but it will give them time. It will buy time for them. But eventually, this financial system, fiat system, is going to crumble. It's going to crash. There's no way out. But this digital ledger technology, and through stablecoins being required to keep purchasing debts, being backed by debts, it will buy them a lot of time. And the debt ceiling will just keep being increased, and the money, it will keep being printed out. And this is why we need to take full advantage of this. The money printer is about to be turned on. The interest rates are starting to be cut now, and that will be the real catalyst. Forget about ETFs, forget about Bitcoin halving. It's already priced in. This is why you see the market is in green and spiking. But once the news really confirms, you'll see a sell-off, there'll be a retracement. But the real catalyst will come once the interest rate starts to get cut, because now real money, fresh monies will enter the market, liquidity will flood the market, and now risk assets such as cryptocurrency will be the number one sought after assets. And this is how the cryptocurrency market will start hitting all-time highs, and it will trickle down to Ethereum and down to altcoins, and we all will benefit from the bull market. It will be explosive, it will be massive, and we have a platform that is unique, and that is not a copy of everything, but rather it solves a problem that nobody else seems to care about. So community, this is it. Thank you very much for all of you for participating. I want to wish you a wonderful rest of your week. Looking forward to see you again on Saturday on our VC on Telegram, on our main Telegram group on Bullrun. Thank you very much, Bullrun women, for participating, for being here in full numbers. Also for the gentlemen, thank you all also for participating. And with that said, have a great rest of your Thursday. Have a great evening, afternoon, wherever you're from. And goodbye. Thank you very much for participating.